We open up on a mysterious giant ghost ship. Vakar is scared about it, so he sends Lavira and Argus to check it out. Then we cut to the pirates, and they're just like hanging out on the Red Galleon. Joe's cleaning his pirate saber, and Donnie's just kind of twirling around his pirate blaster until he accidentally shoots and it nearly hits Navi. Lindsay questions Marvelous, asking him, "How long were you a pirate, given that you said your bounty increased?" Remember the SPD tribute episode? And Marvelous bluntly answers he's been a pirate since he was a little kid with his dad, Navi, and he clenches his fist. But he's interrupted by sirens, alarms, and Navi's "Red alert! Red alert! Enemy Megazord coming right for us!" We see the Mega team ready to engage, but then Troy gets a call on his morpher, and he's like, "Not now, Roy." And we cut back to the pirates, and Donnie references, "It's the Gokaiger Great Megazord. Those are the guys who stole the Mega Keys from us." And Marvelous is like, "They came right for us. Battle station, pirates." And then they form the legendary Megazord, and they fight a little. And the Mega team forms the Gokaiger Great Sea Megazord, and the pirates reference that, hey, it's pirate themed. Those copycats. And then we break to see Argus and Lavira coming right above the ghost ship, and they drop, but then they comedically fall because the ship steers to the right. Vakar has a tantrum, and we come back to the two Megazords fighting, and it turns out Troy snuck into the legendary Megazord during the fight. Navi screams, "Thief! Thief!" But Troy manages to find a Ranger key chest, the Robo Knight key, but Marvelous finds him, and they fight a little in the bridge, and they have some banter, Troy is like, "Oh yeah, we seen your wanted posters. We know you're no good. These are our keys." And Marvelous is like, "We were pardoned for our actions." And Troy's like, "Oh yeah, who would pardon you?" And Marvelous is like, "A dog from the future who's also an alien and the head of a space police." Okay, I know how it sounds, but... And then Troy just yeets out of the Megazord, and Marvelous chases him. Damaris is trying to calm down Vakar, but then some black smoke enters the room, and it turns into Davy Jones, who's an adaptation of Lost Ark. And he says he's a privateer who wishes to help the prince, and he has a special ability that he can resurrect any of the fallen creatures who ever fought a Power Ranger. Damaris is skeptical, but then Snootus enters with an LSB port, saying, "Let him prove himself. This will give him all the information he needs." And then he inserts the LSB stick into a computer, and it shows clips of past Power Rangers. Vakar's like, "I'll allow it. Now go, find some powerful monsters that past Rangers has fought and bring them back." Then we cut back to the two Reds fighting, and we have a cool slide move, and Troy does manage to get the Robo Knight key. Everyone hops out of their respective Megazord and fights a little until Davy Jones appears down there, and he's, "Ahoy, Rangers! Prepare to face your maker!" Davy Jones resurrects Skullpin for Mystic Force, Vrak, and just for fun, Captain Mutiny from Lost Galaxy instead of Venjix. Wait until Beast Morphers for that. And then all the bad guys laugh, and the Rangers like, "What? Reaction shot!" And then all of them but Skullpiss teleports away, and then Skullpiss blasts all the Rangers. We see Donnie, Noah, Bailey, and Emma fall over the side of a cliff. And then back at the flagship, everyone's happy that Vrak is back, except for Vakar, and there's some awkward moments there. Back with Skullpin, and he looks over the side of the cliff just for there to be a lot of Rangers. What? He jumps down, and he attacks them, just for them to turn out to be Hideax that Noah and Emma use their cards to make them look like Rangers. And then Donnie and Bailey shoot Scorpion in the back. Then all the Rangers form up and they do a dynamic victory charge plus final wave shot and take out Scorpion. The two Prince brothers are arguing how to grow him so much that they just decide not to grow him. The Rangers demorph and kind of look around each other. Lindsay and Gia look at each other and they're like, "Stop copying me!" The rest of the team hits it off, and the Mega Team says they can keep the Ranger keys and the Morphers and all this if they agree to come back to Angel Grove and recharge Robo Knight. And they're like, sure. Troy calls back Roy, and he's like, "Finally you pick up. Dude, Dadus is missing. I'm pretty sure he's been kidnapped." And then we see Dadus in his cabinet form, like chained up, guarded by some X-Borgs. And Snuda stands in front of him like, "Aren't you the most informable one?" And it's basically implied that he stole information from Dadus with the LSB part. Because remember, Dadus works with the morphing grid and helped build the Ranger keys. He knows about all this. We get a montage of Dadus and Roy taking out some reused monsters. And then we also get to see for the first time the Dadus Ultra Charged Sky Megazord, which is the Ostrich Sword combined with Dadus. Roy making up excuses why the rest of the team hasn't been showing up to school, like, they're at a peace conference or something. It's all well and good until a monster throws himself and Roy off a cliff. And Roy reemerges from the beach fine, but he starts calling out Dadus, but he gets no answer, and then he finds a banana peel. And then we cut back to modern events, and the pirate crew is showing the Mega Team around the Red Galleon. And we get a joke that Joe is like, "And this is the bathroom," and Donnie's like, "There's a bathroom on the ship?" And he like whispers to Jake, "I've just been going over the side." And Jake like chuckles a little, and Lindsay smacks him in the back of the head for that. And then we cut back to the flagship, and two brothers are bitching at each other until Vrak is going through the Power Rangers history and finds out about the Nihilok from Samurai, and he's like, "This could be useful." So he disguises himself as a Nihilok. But then we cut back to the Rangers, and they just made it to Angel Grove. The Rangers all get off the ship as they meet up with Roy. And he tells them what happened, but since we already know what happened, we cut away and show Vrak entering the Nether Realm and making an alliance with the Nihilok. And then we cut back to the pirates and like, "Oh yeah, cool. We'll save Dadus eventually." But then the Sanzu River spews out into the city, and there's an army of Loogies and Mugers just running amok. And the Rangers are like, "Crap," and then they all morph and go fight. The Mega Team and Pirate Team get kind of lost in the confusion as the Mega Team makes it to a baseball stadium where they meet the Samurai Rangers and a Nihilok. After fighting some foot soldiers, the pirates demorph and try to invest the situation, but they also find some banana peels just lying around. And they see a space monkey eating bananas, waving at them, and a voice going, "Hi there, Martin! Glad to see you!" And the pirates are like, "What?" And Donnie's like, "Martin?" ? And then a mysterious figure steps out behind the space monkey. It turns out to be Burden LeJoker, who would be our Bosco for the series, played by Taylor Johnson from Letterkenny. The pirates stand all confused and Marvelous jumps out and tries attacking Burden, but Sally, the space monkey, defends him. Burden keeps referring to Marvelous as Martin, revealing that's his real name. Burden tells them if they ever want to see their little video game guy again, then give me the Ranger keys, and Martin, come alone with the Ranger keys. None of these other pirates. See you in the quarry by Reefside. Burden and Sally escape as the pirates now have to deal with giant moogers and giant bruisers. And after that, the pirates come up with a plan for Burden. Okay, Marvelous is going to come out there alone with the Ranger key chest. He's going to walk it to Burden, but he's going to throw it in the air, and Donnie, who's hiding behind them, is going to run up and catch the chest, where he also hid a legendary morpher inside. Morph into something, free Dadass, and Dadass will run away. Navi flies in and grabs the chest and makes sure Dadass gets away free, and the rest of the pirates come in and morph, and they all beat up Burden. And then they execute the plan, but the chest accidentally opens in the air, and Donnie trips on a rock, so he gets the legendary morpher in his mouth, and there's Ranger keys all over the ground. Joe runs up to Donnie and helps him morph into Spirit Ranger Shark Jungle Fury. Burden is distracted for a bit as him and Marvelous tussle a little, and Navi tries to pick up some Ranger keys, but Sally also gets her hand on some keys. But Navi manages to grab the chest and the majority of the keys. Sally puts the keys in her little gut chest thing. Donnie demorphs and all the Rangers form up, and then Burden sticks his hand in Sally's chest gut thing and pulls out some Ranger keys and a trumpet that he says is a gift from Levira. He loads some Ranger keys into the trumpet and plays it. Summoning Ranger puppets of RPM Gold and Silver, Robo Knight, Mighty Morphin White, Samurai Gold, Solaris Knight, and Space Silver, Wild Force Silver, Dino Thunder White, and the Mercury Ranger. The Rangers morph and fight the puppet Rangers, and after the fighting, Marvelous tells Navi to fly the Robo Knight key to the real Robo Knight and charge him up. We open up with the Mega Rangers and Samurai Rangers interacting, and we find out some stuff what happened to the Samurai Rangers after their series. Mike and Amelia are totally a thing now. And a self-referential joke at the fact that Emma and Gia's names are so similar to Amelia and Mia's names. But then the Nihilok invade, and they fight, and then the Special Sword Squad invade, and it turns out that they have Lauren, and they're all laughing, and they depower all the Rangers, and it looks like they're gonna win. Until Robo Knight shows up with Navi perched on his shoulder, Robo Knight being RoboCop, and he's let the woman go, you're under arrest. The Mega Rangers are oh my god, Robo Knight, you're back, yeah! And then Robo Knight fights one of the Special Sword Squad members, who's conveniently enough an unused Shinkenger costume. And then there's some unmorph fighting with the Mega Team and Samurai Team fighting some Moogers and Loogies. Robo Knight beats the Sword Guy, and the Special Sword Squad teleports away. And then we get the really cool scene of all the Rangers morphing together. Plus Lauren and Roy, and they all fight, and we also intercut with their fighting, with the Pirate Rangers coming in on the scene to deal with Octoroo. And they finish him with Forever Red, Jungle Fury, Operation Overdrive, RPM, SPD, and Mystic Force Red. At the same time, the Mega Team and Samurai Team defeated Rack and the Nihilok. Everyone reunites, but then the Nihilok and Rat grow giant. The pirates call in the legendary Wild Force Megazord, and they fight a little. And then all the other Rangers join in the Megazord, and there's a joke that the Mega Team and Pirates don't wear special in-cockpit suits like the Samurai do. They manage to defeat the Nihilok, but Rock absorbs that Nihilok's power and the Zangsu River and tries to toss it at the Rangers, which damages them. But then Jaden gives the double disc to the Pirate Rangers, and they use it to turn the Wild Force Megazord into the legendary Wild Samurai Megazord, which they use to defeat Rock again. And then Vakar is like, yes! I mean, no! They destroyed my brother again! Ah, the grief, the pain. I'm in such grief and pain. I demand him to never be resurrected again. And I mean this. Never do it. And then everyone goes to celebrate at Ernie's, and Jaden just gives them the double disc, and it's all happy-go-lucky. We got Datus back. But it turns out to be a fake Datus, and the real one's still with the Zangyak. Uh-oh.